You're listening to the Crochet Conversations podcast.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to episode 25.
Wow, hi guys.
Hi, so we've recently got a lot of new listeners, so we thought that if this is your first episode with us, then we should reintroduce ourselves again.
Yeah.
So, hello, my name is Ines. I am the birthday girl.
Yeah, this whole month is to celebrate her birthday, by the way.
It's my birthday month, I should clarify. So a couple of episodes ago, I did my birthday episode. But, we're still in kind of like a celebration
mood,
kind of mode. So anyway, that's me.
Yeah, and I'm Mel. I'm the other half of the business.
So, like I mentioned, because I said our, I guess I feel like you get to like join in on the celebrations and all the the parties and
yeah, that's true.
The food. So
yes, the food.
Every weekend since, because we are still in some sort of state of COVID.
Yeah.
So we're not really going out and meeting people, and we've sort of been pacing like our groups of friends, and we're not meeting them all at once.
So we kind of have to split up into like smaller
to meet
groups.
them in smaller groups. So what we've been doing is what Mel has been doing is been planning with a different group every weekend.
Yeah, set your appointment with me. Yeah, date and time.
And so every weekend since November 4th, I've just been in some sort of celebration. So it really feels this year. It feels like Christmas came earlier. Like I literally spent the whole month eating, singing, like being sung happy birthday to, having lots of surprises, and that includes
like every other week,
and birthday gifts. So good job, Mel.
Maybe we should do this more often. Maybe for my birthday, I
would
request...
no, see, you said that it was tiring, so okay, let's move on. So, keeping all that in mind, I thought that, I'm feeling kind of very grateful for all, in such a difficult time, I'm still able to have all these birthday celebrations and have friends come over and everyone's sort of, safe and healthy.
Yeah.
So I thought that this would be one of like the more perfect episodes to talk about the different ways or like the positive ways that crochet has impacted my life.
Yeah.
Or talk about the things that I'm grateful for that crochet has brought to me. So I thought that, in lieu or in keeping in theme with the birthday kind of thing, I thought that it would be great to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really important, especially at a time like this, for us to be grateful and to remember all the good things that we have.
All the blessings that we have, and to celebrate that, And, while we're thinking and talking about crochet, because really right now my life is surrounded by crochet, it's sort of in the forefront of my mind. Of course, we have a crochet business, so that's kind of a given. But on my own, I'm also working on a lot of personal projects. Hint to another episode where I talked about all my 34 whips.
Yeah, we know all about that.
So I thought that, it's good to share with you guys all the things that I'm grateful about because, I want to share my joy with you guys. Part of the reason why we are continuing to do what we do is because you guys listen in and, you guys visit our website and follow us on our Instagram, and I'm feeling a lot of love from you guys.
That's so sweet. Like all the birthday wishes that you'll be getting as well.
Yeah, on Instagram. I'm so touched. Okay, so should we just hop right in?
Yeah, let's.
So I've broken it down into a few categories as I was planning for this episode. I have broken it down to personal, business, and my relationships.
Okay.
Relationship
right.
with you. So let's talk about the personal things first. So these are like personal values that I think that having crochet in my life has sort of taught me certain values. So number one is patience.
Right, I can see that. And I think a lot of the other episodes, I always talk about myself having not much patience.
Yeah.
And I think crochet definitely
tests that.
Yeah, really.
And you like Mel, you are more patient than I am, I think. I think in general, you are somebody that has a lot more patience. You are able to, deal with slower people, like difficult customers.
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Difficult, clients or suppliers. I think you have the personality, I think, for that. And compared to you, I'm like a monster. I'm just somebody with no patience for anything at all. For example, like if something lags on my computer or on my phone, within like seconds I get annoyed. I can't stand in line for more than 10 minutes.
That's true, that's true.
I can't deal with people not giving me a straight answer, and I just feel like in general I have no patience. And on the downside, that also includes with myself.
Yeah.
I think like you can attest to how I get frustrated with myself a lot when I can't get things done, you know?
Yeah.
And you sort of need to step in and, you know, sort of talk me through my frustration a little bit sometimes.
So that we can go through it slowly and just, you know, take a step back.
Yeah, because, you know, there really is no rush to get things done really, but I am just somebody with, you know, just I need to get it done quick and ASAP and right now.
But that's just your style, you know. It works in some situations.
Yeah, so I think that having crochet in my life has really taught me patience, or really allowed me to experience patience, you know, true patience really. I think I really only understand patience, like true patience, in two scenarios. One was when we became guardians to two young children, which is Mel's niece and nephew, and when I started learning crochet. Because, you know, crochet projects, especially if you want to do bigger projects, they're not something that, it's not something that you can complete like in one sitting.
Yeah.
And I am not that kind of person. I like to finish things in one sitting.
Yeah.
You know, I like to be able to sit down and, you know, it's easy to say that, yeah, I'm a patient person, but when you're on your 100th row and you're counting something and, you know, you've rocked it a few times and somebody talks to you, it is so easy. It is so easy to just snap at them. And I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in this.
Yeah. I mean, even I myself, you can say I'm a patient person, but I think crochet has really...
It really brings out the monster in people, I think.
You
know, it's like 7, 8, 9, 10,
you get
11.
louder and louder, right?
So I think that, you know, it's sort of something that I've got to talk myself through, especially when I'm crocheting, when I can't get a stitch or I can't figure out my swatch, and I feel like it's taking a lot longer than I want to sort of, you know, talk myself through it and say, we're not in a rush to get it done. It's not, you know, if it's for a customer, for example, for me, a lot of things are for customers. You know, if I just explain to them and be honest and say I'm having trouble, people are going to understand.
Yeah.
You know, more people are more patient. They're more understanding than they really are, especially if you come to them very honest about, you know, the struggles you're facing, you know.
Yeah, and I guess when I crochet, sometimes it takes my mind off things also, because my work can be I have
more
a lot
stressful
of work to do, and it's kind of fast paced, sort of sometimes.
It's like a slower pace of living.
Yeah, the business side of it, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
when
right.
I do take some time off to do like crochet for myself, it, you know, it gives me that slower, that slower pace.
That's a really good point to talk about, because that actually leads me right into my second point, my point number 2. And that is, crochet has sort of allowed me to claim back some of that personal time for myself.
Okay.
Because we're living in such a fast-paced world, right? You know, everything is it's on the go, everything's on the move. You can upload something and 1 second later somewhere, someone across the world, across the globe
will get it and see it.
Hears it, you know, kind of like this podcast. So I think that it's there's this need, or because I'm not a patient person, I feel the need to rush forward to get things done very quickly.
Yeah.
And crochet is the exact opposite of that.
Yes.
You know, it's going from a really fast pace, running your own business, you know, contacting suppliers in other time zones in other countries.
Yep.
You know, and then when I shut down my email, I go back down into a more quiet state.
Yeah.
You know, I'm crocheting by myself. I'm alone. You know, I can be with somebody else, but I can't crochet with somebody else. It's not like we can be working on the same thing at once, right?
Yeah, correct.
So ultimately, it is quite a solitary thing, an activity.
Yeah.
And I think it's sort of allowed me to claim back some of that personal time and gives me that protected space to, like, you know, think and feel and like make sense of how I'm feeling, or if I'm in a mood. You know, crocheting allows me the time to sit with myself and get comfortable with these like difficult feelings, or if I'm feeling very happy, you know, it sort of gives me that moment to sit and like think about, you know, all the things I'm happy and grateful for. I mean, that's to say that I'm the kind of person that crochets to relax, right?
Yeah.
There are other people, like friends that I know, who crochet with the intention to focus their mind and think about something.
Yeah, I think that's me, because I feel that the art of crocheting is just the way it is like that for me. It forces me to, I have no choice but to go slow and to do it properly.
And to be present in the moment.
Yeah, correct. Because when I do try to like do it quickly or not
like rush
focus.
through it.
Yeah, like rush through it, and I don't do it properly, right?
Yeah.
So definitely just crocheting itself, the craft itself forces me to really take my time with it.
And also I think, at least in our household, right?
Yeah.
At least for us, for you and me, every time, like if Mel sees me crocheting, she knows to leave me alone. Like she'd come into the studio and then try to talk to me if she sees I'm like really focused on it, and then she sort of takes a step back and
I'll do a U-turn and I'll like go and do something else.
But it's also similar for me. When I see you crocheting on the couch, I know that, okay, that's kind of like your time to leave you to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish,
right?
Because
I'm a one-week girl. I can't start like another project until I finish that one.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so crochet has sort of allowed me to give me that moment. And I think that because, I've been crocheting for so long, but there are periods of time where I don't crochet. There is like maybe a span of 6 months at a time when I was a lot younger or was just starting in this craft that I didn't crochet.
Okay.
And if I were to think back about those moments, or when when I still had a full-time job and I wasn't running this business full-time, if I think back to those moments where I was, I didn't have time to crochet, maybe I didn't pick up my crochet work for like a month or so, I feel like I get more stressed easily.
Right.
I get frazzled more easily. And I think it really boils down to having that moment for myself.
Right, like work-life balance sort of.
Yeah, because if I'm not crocheting, I need to be doing something.
Right.
I'm that kind of person. It's my personality also. So like this episode is about us, ourselves. It's also my personality to not be able to just do nothing.
Yeah,
I feel like I need to always be doing something. And so crochet allows me something to do while doing nothing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think when I obviously only picked up crochet because we have a crochet business, and I started to really understand about the craft and really enjoy and really like it, like right now. Not at the beginning when I first started. I was a lot more frustrated, but I think for my personality to always want to pick up something new, I think crochet did that for me, and now I have a lot more sense of accomplishment. Yeah,
and confidence, I think, also.
Okay.
I wanna like give a little backstory for all the listeners out there about Mel's crochet's like introduction.
Okay.
Because we talk about how Mel is just picking up crochet, but actually, let me spill some tea. I actually taught Mel to crochet maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Because she was watching me crochet and she said, "Oh, I wonder what you're doing." So I said, "I'll teach you. I'll teach you, and then maybe you can help me with this craft. Like you have a deeper understanding."
Sure, looks easy enough.
So I tried to teach her just the basic like chain and I think single and double.
I think my fingers cramped up or something.
The next day she said crochet is not for me, and she wrote it off completely.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And she just never picked it up again. In at least 4 or 5 years. And it's not till I think this COVID, since 2020, that you decided somehow, somewhere, somehow she started warming up to crochet.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess more time on our hands. Maybe I guess I wanted to do something with you as well.
And also you're working from home, during this time. So you see a lot more crochet. And maybe, I think maybe it's because you want to use up some of the yarn that I have.
Maybe.
Okay, so that's my point number 2. Let's move on. The next point is that I'm extremely grateful that crochet has allowed me some sort of art form as an adult. Let me give a little bit more about this. There are many art forms that I attribute to making me a better person, I think, in my life. Dance is one of them. Painting is one of them. And actually my ASMR channel was one of them too. And I think some people might argue that ASMR is not art, but I feel that it is. It's, it's about your artistry, your creativity, and how you can put together a video.
Yeah.
So I think that all these things have sort of, played a really big part in my life in teaching me something.
Okay.
Where I think dance is, when I'm really, early on in my life, my first introduction to the world of art or fine arts or performing arts is through dance. And then following, in my college life, then it's painting. And then in my adult life, that's my ASMR channel. I'm a very big believer in balancing the holistic element of education versus the really academic, side. So marrying what I know theoretically with what I can do artistically is very important to me.
Yeah.
And I think that crochet is sort of the right blend between that. It's also another form of art that I can do as an adult and not have people tell me I don't have a real job.
Right. Okay, yeah,
because
got it.
if I paint or dance and people would say, so what's your real job?
Right.
But I crochet, and even now people ask me, so what's your real job?
Like, do you do this full time, really?
Yeah. So I think that it's sort of given me that chance to have that freedom of creativity on a personal level. I feel like I can fully live a life submerged in art. It makes me feel extremely blessed, constantly, in awe of what I'm able to do and what I'm able to accomplish when I am, in the mindset of looking at things creatively and in the world of art.
Yeah.
And I think that crochet has sort of allowed me that. I think as an adult, it's very easy to forget to do things, creatively.
Yeah.
It's very easy to forget to, to exercise that part of your brain, and it's so easy to get caught up in the very analytical world,
because realistically, that's a lot of things don't fall within that realm.
Yeah, I agree.
Or we don't have the platform to be able to do that. I
agree.
Or at least not enough.
And it's easy to see other people do it, and go, oh, that's cool, and then just not think about it and
or
not
go
apply.
to a museum or an art exhibition and just see it.
Yeah, but for me, I can't just be a spectator.
Yeah.
I can't just be a patron of the art. I would be very unhappy if you took away my ability to make art, whether it's my painting or my dancing or crochet. It's something to do with my hands and my feet, and
I think that's what's so amazing about crochet, because I don't really see myself as a very artistic person, but now that I've picked up crochet, I think it's such an amazing craft because you can do so many things with it. You can basically create anything.
And
everything.
I see that in you particularly. I see when I'm doing something, because in the past when you didn't crochet, you would just say, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, but now you actually come in with suggestions and say, I think it would look nicer this way, or what if you do it that way? And I can really see you like blossoming into your crochet
so
self.
Initially I would be unsure. I'll be like, can you do this with crochet? And you're like, yeah, sure, of course.
But now you're very confident. You even tell me what stitches you think I should use.
Why do you want to buy a basket? Just crochet a basket.
So that's something I'm very grateful for about having crochet in my life.
I can see that.
Now, in the personal sort of category of things that I'm grateful for with my crochet craft, the final point that I think that I have learned, or how crochet has sort of positively impacted me, is on top of patience, it's also taught me the value of perseverance.
Right.
I think that, with crochet, the end goal is not some crazy unattainable idea. You know, it's not a nice fancy idea. It's something that you can see. It's a physical, tangible item that that if you put in the work, if you put in the effort, you will see the results.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can see your work building in front of you. And that's what I love about it, I can see it in tangible, terms.
Yeah, as you're building it.
Yeah, if I put in the effort for 10 stitches, my work grows one row, you know?
Yeah, correct.
It's very easy to learn. And that's also the reason why I enjoy teaching children. I enjoy teaching younger kids, maybe like 16 and below, because I think that at that stage they're still learning, and at that point 16-year-olds nowadays have no patience for anything because of social media. Right? The attention span is so short. And I love that crochet gives me a chance to, introduce the idea of instant gratification, but in a good way. It's instant gratification, just like how you open your phone and you see a video. If you put in, a certain amount of stitches, like in a stitch pattern, you see it.
Yeah.
When you finish 1 and 2 rows in a 2-row repeat, you see it. You see the pattern taking shape and taking form.
Yeah.
From what is essentially a tangle of strings, right?
Yeah. That's so amazing.
Not only teaching that, it's also a reminder to myself that I can do it, and I should do it because I have the ability to do it, and to stick with a project, till it's done. And obviously, given my many weights, this is still, a work in progress. But I am a work in progress. I am still learning things about myself and figuring out what I'm good or not good at, or maybe admitting what I'm not good at. And so I still think it's important to include it in as perseverance being one thing that I think the biggest thing, if not, that crochet has taught me, or I have benefited from crochet in my personal life.
Yeah, I think that's really a good point to have. I think for me, crochet has made me contribute to a lot less waste. Do you understand what I mean? I feel like...
That's a good point.
Yeah, I have a lot of things that I would have probably thrown away in the past. But now I'm thinking about how I can use this, especially if it's fabric. How I can turn that into
t-shirt yarn, for example. Because
that's
you're
a very
someone
good
that
example.
wears t-shirts, like
a lot
you
t-shirts.
wear t-shirts.
Until it's so worn out, and I've made so many doggy toys. For
that's
whiskey,
true.
for example.
Baskets in our house. I think that's. Do you feel that that's like something that has really benefited you? You think?
I do think so.
Your social responsibility value.
And in that sense, also saved me a lot of costs. To be honest, I mean, with the amount of yarn you're buying,
we need to find somewhere else
I have
to save
use
costs.
recyclables, other options. But I think it's a really a good, a good option.
And also, can I add on to your point?
Okay.
I feel like knowing how to crochet makes you spend less. I think something that I've noticed with you is that you no longer say, oh, we need something, where can we find it? Can we get it online, or can we buy it?
That's true.
I feel like nowadays it's we need something. Could you crochet this, or could I crochet this, or can this be done in crochet?
I have a crochet wish list. Wish list.
So, and I think that it's more, it's not so much fast fashion. It's a lot of things in retail is very damaging to the environment, and we contribute a lot less to them because we are able to get our the yarn from the source, and not have to, you can cut down on all the toxic waste emissions and all that.
I mean, for me, it's personally the fact that I can customize it exactly the way I want it.
It's personalized, highly personalized, and I guess it's the beauty of crochet, right?
That's why I love it. And I think that's why I keep going back to it.
I think that's really beautiful. I think that, especially for us, our brand, part of what we are very passionate about is also being very eco-friendly and sustainable. If I can substitute something that's plastic or paper with crochet.
Yeah, exactly.
And something that's handmade, you tend to treasure it more. You're going to treat it like an expensive thing. It's not going to be, let's use it once or twice and throw it away. You don't have that mindset when it comes to crochet. So I love that. I really love that. Okay, so moving on to the second category, and that is business. So all those that we just talked about is the personal things that I think I've gained from having crochet in my life. So now let's talk about in terms of having the crochet business. I think number one, and the most important thing, I don't know if this is necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but I think it has a positive impact to me, regardless of whether it's, really ultimately cynical or not.
Right.
But I think that being a crochet business owner, or a business owner in general, has allowed me to see the people who would actually, who the people are who would actually step up for me.
Okay.
And who are the people around me in my life that genuinely want success for me. And I think it's very telling into their personality and their intentions.
People who support you.
Yeah, because it's very easy to say, oh, I'll support you no matter what.
Right.
But when you have a business, when you actually need them to share and share and, turn up at events, or, help forward you a message or pull into their...
the actions, that they have for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can really see who bothers to do it. And I think we've been very blessed with... We have a lot of friends personally who... come down to our events and buy things from us at retail cost.
Yeah.
Which I tell them so many times, don't do that. Just tell me what you want, I'll make it for you. Just cover the cost of it, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But you see how much they want to support.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, there are a handful of people who have never spent a cent and never shown up and never, just never talk about it.
Yeah.
And
so those that do support really makes the difference.
Yeah, and I think it also has deepened my friendship. Not because they spend money, the ones, the kind of value that I get from my friends are sometimes without any cost.
Yeah, for sure.
They just show up, they proofread things for me, they copy edit things for me, or they look out for like spelling mistakes on my Facebook post, for example.
Or they like to share ideas with us, or take a look.
To me, those input is more valuable. And
I agree.
Having, I don't think this is necessarily related to crochet, but it could be any other business.
Yeah.
But particularly because crochet is handmade, I think people who can appreciate would appreciate it even more than something that is just, a drop shipping kind of thing.
Right.
And so, like I say, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I have taken a positive outlook on it. And I think it's allowed me to deepen my friendships with the people around me who say they support and they actually do support me.
Yeah, I totally agree. And for me, I think the fact that we are in this small local business, we get to meet a lot of similar people within the sort of the industry, like-minded people, and I think that experience is so amazing. This business has actually helped us to connect with the community.
That's actually my next point. So I think that's perfect. It's perfect that you're saying it now, because I feel exactly the same way as you.
Yeah, there's so many people that we have met through events or through other
art markets,
markets,
and pop-ups.
We have stayed such good friends.
And I remember who they are. It's beyond just remembering their usernames. They actively come down, and so I think for me that point is that having crochet sort of led to me having a business, which has led to me meeting all these people and friends through this process and having all these experiences that I would never otherwise have had.
Yeah.
And I think that we've learned so much about the business, and we've encountered really nice, other people, like other small business owners.
Yeah, exactly.
Who totally get what we do, and we've sort of built like a community.
Yeah, and I think because they are also crafters themselves, most of them, so we understand maybe the hard work, or the idea of having to set up your own business and
like marketing as a small business owner and all that. And I think and you're right in that sense that I've made a lot of good friends, like really good friends, like they come over for dinner and drinks, and we
actually meet outside of business,
outside of work. I love that. And some of them crochet not as a business, but on their own they crochet. Maybe they do embroidery or whatever, and so because we're all like makers and creators, right? So we're all kind of artistic people. We sort of know all the little bits of things that go behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful to connect with people, like you say, are so like-minded and would face a sort of similar issues as us, and so we're able to come together, to pull our resources together to, figure it out.
Yeah, correct.
I think that's really, actually, that's one of the things I am very, 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 very grateful for.
Yeah, exactly. The community is just so friendly, and, I love it, really.
I mean, it's not to say we haven't met nasty people. We really have. We've met some people who want to keep their secrets to themselves. Okay. I don't know, as though nothing can be found on Google,
Yeah, that's true.
I think that you and me are the kind of people who, translated to business owners who want to share our resources, and we are such a big believer of community and a shared resource. I mean, that's the whole reason why we're having this podcast, to share as much as we can, with you guys.
Yeah.
And lastly, I think my final point when it comes to business is that I even get to run my own business.
Yeah.
I think that, if you guys listen to our very first episode where we introduce who we are, I talked about how I quit my full-time job, from the music company, in December 2019. And, COVID really started, for us in Asia at least, in February 2020. So it's a
close
span
enough,
it's a span of 2 months between quitting my job and finding out, that there is such a thing as a COVID virus. During that time, being able to build a brand and still go out and meet people and still have all these, wonderful experiences and have the ability to run my own business, during the time of COVID and still kind of being able to make it work somehow.
Yeah.
I think I'm very grateful that if it wasn't for crochet, I likely would not have so much success in this business that I'm currently enjoying.
And for me, I think personally, having to do this business with you has allowed me to have that sense of achievement and fulfillment of being a business owner.
To be your own boss.
Yeah,
kinda.
And to enjoy being able to build up a business, a brand, and seeing it grow. Seeing, starting something and going on from there, especially during this time.
It's like watching your own little baby, go through the different stages.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people think about it, like wanting to go out there and probably start something.
Yeah, but really nobody actually, very little people, not that nobody, but very little people do take that leap forward, right?
Yeah, because, it's definitely not easy.
It's scary for sure.
Yeah, but I like the
thrill, the excitement.
I think it's the independence.
Oh,
the independence of it being my own business, having that control, to make that decision. It's scary, yes, but for me, I like to be able to
it's empowering.
That. Exactly.
I love that it's empowering for you.
Yeah.
I think going from being an employee to an employer currently, there are lots of things that you forget that you have the authority to do.
Yeah.
We're so trained to run it by the boss first, but who do you run it by if you are the boss? You've got to make that decision, that judgment call there and then.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is that sense of empowerment is very, it's very fulfilling, right?
It is.
And I agree. I feel the same with you. It's just that I've always known I wanted to, run my own business. Yeah. And it's something that's sort of on my thing. Even if I would never quit my main job, I've always wanted to have my own business somehow. And I'm glad I get to do it with you,
Yeah, I am very grateful for that. For you to have crochet and it just became a thing.
That. Yeah. So I think that how crochet has positively impacted our life is that if not for crochet, if not for it, it would not have led down this particular path that we can now say that we are
business owners.
Owners, bitch.
Boss.
Okay, so the next point and my final point is actually relationships. So that's kind of the perfect segue. I think everything's sort of aligning in this podcast episode.
Flowing nicely,
Yeah, so for my point, something that I'm very grateful about is to be able to have a stronger relationship with you, while doing it. And also, it's my relationships on a whole, especially the ones really close to me.
Yeah.
You, obviously one of them, and the next one is my best friend, for example, because she stays just 2 blocks away from me, so she's always over at our house and she's always helping, to pack orders, and we don't pay her ever.
Yeah.
And she's never asked for anything, so
she's always happy to help. Yeah.
And I think it's such a blessing that I have, to have friends and a good support system and a good partner in you to work with me. I think that we're a lot stronger for it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I think that being able to speak the same language, crochet language, it just made me think about our episode on the crochet
jargons. Yeah,
it's hilarious. I know we couldn't stop laughing during the episode. But like I was saying, it's allowed me to have this avenue with you that most couples don't explore.
Yeah.
The working, the love relationship translating into a working relationship, a business relationship.
And I would think some couples think that, you cannot work.
Oh my god, that was my next point.
Together, yeah.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say next. That, people always tell you don't work with your spouse or don't work with your husband or wife. I think that's
friends cannot work together, do a business together.
I think that's completely bull. That's complete bull. It's about the personalities, and if you're both not mature enough to make it work, then it doesn't matter who you're working with. Business partners fall apart too.
That's true.
And
that's
correct. Think that being in a relationship already, you and me, gives us that extra edge when it comes to business.
Exactly.
That we
that's what I
know
think
how
too.
to communicate to each other in a way that the other person needs it. And if it's just, with friends, we might not always get that chance to. And, we're together all the time.
Yes, we are.
The amount of conversations we have had. Some of our best business decisions come just by just lying in bed and talking. And you can't do that with a friend.
I mean, there are like good times and bad times because, there's no kind of separation between work and personal sometimes. But that's just something that you need to learn.
To get over with.
Yeah, exactly.
And I do want to say that it's not always smooth and like easy.
Yeah.
We do get into like really big like business arguments sometimes.
Or disagreements, yes, for sure.
But just being partners, like in a relationship, it sort of gives us that edge to know how to take the time apart and talk about something else and reconnect and come back again.
Yeah.
There are so many more avenues for us to reconnect than if you had a fight with a business partner, it just ends there.
Yeah, correct. And as a couple, you tend to be, I guess, more emotional, but being business partners, it helps us to be more rational.
Yeah, to rationalize that a little bit more.
I feel that because of that, it makes us stronger in terms of relationship, not as business partner, but as a couple as well.
Yeah, and I think it also helps us get better at communicating what we are thinking. I feel that we're a lot stronger in putting forward an idea because we have to do it for work, right? For the crochet business.
Yeah.
We have to be able to form our thoughts, have a thought, then form that thought,
Yeah.
and then translate that thought into words and have the other person understand those words. And actually these 4 simple steps in basic communication is very difficult.
Yeah, and because we do that for work, we get to do that in like all different parts of our lives as well.
It translates into the other areas of our life. And
which helps,
And I think you can tell that we're very excited about this.
I mean, it can only be better, right?
Really, I would only ever have run this business if I had somebody by my side that I trusted. And that person is Mel, is you. And so if it wasn't for crochet, it would never have led me down this road where I get to have a partner that can run this business with me. And I think that, husband and wife, like family run businesses are really the strongest, don't you think?
Yeah, they can go for generations and generations, and there must be a reason for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So guys, don't ever listen to somebody who tells you that you cannot run a business with your partner or your spouse.
Yeah.
It's just down to good communication.
Exactly.
And there's nothing that communication cannot fix. So, I think because of all those reasons that we've listed in this episode so far, I think that suffice it to say, crochet has played such a big role, like such a huge part in my life.
Our life, yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that. I say that crochet has positively impacted me. It doesn't mean that all things have been happy and bright and good. There are some difficult things that we had to go through too.
For sure.
Like managing our finances and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's how you allow it to impact you, right? So you could definitely look at it as like, it's difficult, it strains our relationship. But, I think that we choose to see in the other way. That
be positive about it. Because,
it's how you choose that it impacts you, right? And I think that these are all the ways that crochet has really, really positively impacted me in my life. So I want to end this episode on a really nice note. I want to share with you guys a quote that I stand by in my life. It's one of the things that I try to remind myself often. And this quote, I don't remember who it's from, by the way. It's just something I read when I was younger, and I've just
and it stayed with you.
Yeah, I've always carried it with me, and I don't quite know who it's from.
Okay.
But it's, what if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you are grateful for today? And I think this is a quote that on my sort of more down days, it really scares me, because it's, especially in this current like COVID climate.
Yeah.
You just can't tell what will happen. You don't know how countries will lock down in an instant, and I remember when it all first started, I had family flying home from Africa, and, like they were traveling, and it was just so scary. And there's no saying, no quote that could be more accurate or more fitting
during this time.
Yeah, in this current time that we're in. And if I was not grateful for a lot more things in my life, I think I would be a very miserable person if they all disappeared tomorrow.
Yeah. I think the fact that you don't wait until, you keep thinking about all the things you want to do and don't go forward with it and start to regret, Yeah, I think the important thing
is to do it now. You know, if you feel something for a friend, you know, call them up, tell them how much you love them, tell them how much you're grateful for having them in their life.
Exactly.
You know, I tell my friends I love you all the time, and it's a little bit sappy, but I do it, you know. And I think that it's something that we should all keep in mind. And it's very easy to get caught up in our day-to-day activities and not remember to be very grateful for even something as basic as like a bed to sleep in, a house to be in, you know, like a salary, pay, customers who love and talk to you, you know.
For us, being able to have our own business, that's really
I think
something.
that's the number one most life-changing aspect for us currently. So I think we've come to the end of this episode. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is it beyond the questions about me, that birthday episode. I think this could be the next episode that is most personal to me. You know,
I mean, for me as well.
So I'd love to hear from you guys if you have any questions, and I see that you guys do have questions. So hello, everybody that has written in. I will get to them in the future upcoming episodes.
I'm always so excited and like happy when I see, we got a new email
from our podcast. So if you have any other questions, you may contact us on Instagram or Facebook. We are at Crooked Crochet SG, or you can WhatsApp us.
Yes, please WhatsApp or text us at 91272743.
And if you're not from Singapore, you kind of need to add the +65 before that number. So it's +65 91 272743. Or you can email us. I love receiving your emails because it's such a nice break from like all the work emails, right?
Yeah, and I think people tend to write a lot more. Like it's
they
such
share,
a full message when they write
share
in.
a lot more, and I love reading them.
Yeah, and we get a lot of feedbacks as well.
And I think it really builds like who you are. I'm not talking just into a microphone. I really see like different personalities come out in the emails, and I love it. So email me. We are crookedcrochetsg@gmail.com. If you just head over to our Instagram, you can find all the information there, or visit our website at www.crookedcrochet.com.
Yes, and check back every Sunday at 12 noon for new episodes.
Singapore time,
yes.
Okay, and we're so glad that you guys are here with us. I'm really, really grateful once again. And we will see you in episode 26.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you.